Welcome back. ChannelsTV.com has more information for you, and on YouTube.com/channelsweb, you can watch our videos. You can also watch us on your mobile device via your browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows devices from their respective stores. That's not all. Besides giving you access to news updates on the go, the Channels TV and Channels 24 app have an eyewitness feature that you can use to share pictures, videos, or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. Now to conflict management in Plateau State, which has been given as important for effective early warning signs to work. Major General Stephen Gua, the coordinator of that project, tells us more about what it set out to achieve.
They can afford easy access to report any happenings or events that is inimical to or capable of creating a sense of insecurity within the community. They can report it to us through this platform via some call facilities such as through SMS and available social media channels like the Twitter, the email, the Facebook, video, image uploads. And once we get that in our situation room, we take appropriate measures immediately, quickly analyze and take the necessary measures to contain the situation. This is a site that can log into. We have at our addresses that they could reach, and within the short possible time, you can get access to us. It's based on the information we get from our agents down to the, I must say we have representatives right at the electoral ward level. Right. So what we do as soon as we have the report through all the medias, it hits on the platform, and then we use the geospatial frame, for geotagging. It immediately tells us exactly where the report is coming from as it's happening. So we know exactly, we don't have to couple into where are you calling from, which village and whatever it is. We have the capacity of knowing exactly what is happening, the event happening as it is. And we dispatch people immediately to that scene. They know them. Even if they get away with it temporarily, we get at them within the shortest possible time because of the network that spreads around the whole state and in synergy with the other security agencies.
Details of the early warning system for intelligence gathering in Plateau State for protection of security and lives and property. From there now to the northwest, and the case of the former governor, Ramalan Iyero of Kaduna, who, alongside 3 others, have been remanded in prison custody at the court when Mr. Iyero's counsel, Yunus Ustaz, made an oral application for the bail of his client with the alternative to be remanded in EFCC custody. It was opposed by the EFCC counsel, Joshua Saidi.
We just arraigned their defendants, and they pleaded not guilty, and they've been remanded in prison custody for the further consideration of their bail application on the 6th of June 2018.
The court has absolute discretion to say bring application for bail formally or orally. He has not denied them bail. What he's saying is that in my court, I normally ask for written application.
Crossing over to the southwest and the health sector, about 3,000 members of the Joint Health Sector Union may be dismissed from the employment of the federal government, going by the ultimatum of a 72-hour directive instructing them to go back to work after 6 weeks of industrial action, which has paralyzed activities at the medical center in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. This was communicated by the Chief Medical Director of the center, Professor Adewale Musa, while briefing journalists on the recent development and the outcome of a meeting with the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale. Meanwhile, respite seems to be becoming the way of residents and those who need medical attention as activities at the center are gradually taking shape. As the management said, it has recruited some ad hoc staff, which include retired nurses, to provide services at the center, just as the management promises quality service delivery.
All the workers of USU, individual letters, invite them after 48 hours. If they fail to report, at the end of 72 hours of they're having the letters, they should consider themselves dismissed. We should ensure that we recruit as many people as possible to come into the system and start working. We have been given the mandate. We have also been given the mandate to get the assistance of the security people, especially the DSS, as well as the mobile police.
7 persons, including students, have been allegedly killed in a boat mishap in Ipokia local government area of Ogun State. The accident was said to have occurred after the boat carrying over 40 passengers, including goods, was reported to have gotten broken into two midway into the journey between Akere and Badagry in Lagos State. Survivors were taken to the General Hospital in Ipokia, where men of the Nigeria Police Ipokia Division were seen documenting the incidents, releasing victims to their relatives. Reports have it that the mishap may have resulted from an overloading of bags and 7 motorcycles by operators of the boat. The chairman of Ipokia local government, Mr. Joshua Senayo, while speaking with journalists over the incident, says the death recorded was 4 persons and 10 survivors, while another 7 were rescued unhurt. Now, to politics. The Independent National Electoral Commission is asking political parties to give people with disabilities access to participate fully in the electoral process. A National Commission of INEC, Mr. Ahmed Muazu, made the appeal at an INEC and European Center for Electoral Support roundtable in Abuja. According to him, the Commission has done its part in making sure that the physically challenged are not excluded from the process. And now the ball is in the court of political parties to support and field them. Our correspondent Kayla Megwa reports.
Seated here are representatives of over 20 political parties, civil society organizations, INEC officials, members of the European Center for Electoral Support, and people with disabilities who say even though the law does not stop them from participating in politics, they face other issues which are economic and structural.
Take, for instance, my community. We can't stand in the sun for more than 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're burnt. And so the provision that INEC has made is to give us special voting rights.
The Independent National Electoral Commission says it is at the forefront of political inclusiveness for people with disabilities and have organized fora and election participatory devices for people living with disabilities.
The guidelines are very clear. Those PWDs, elders, pregnant women, nursing mothers are given priority on the queues. So it's been the practice, it will remain the practice.
Some representatives of political parties explain where their parties stand on the issue and whether they have any candidates or aspirants with disabilities.
They are part of this country and their constitutional right is guaranteed.
The name of the party is quite in happy consonance with what is happening today, the conference today. Justice must prevail for everybody, regardless of one's physical or social status or economic status.
While events like this exist to ensure that people with disabilities become a part of the electoral process, that is voting and contesting for political office in Nigeria, there are 2 questions that come to mind. One of them is if the people with disabilities in Nigeria even want to be a part of the process, seeing as the political process in Nigeria is very money driven and many people with disabilities do not have access to the funds necessary to be a part of the electoral process in Nigeria. And then there's a second question. Do the Nigerian populace have it inside of them to vote for somebody with an obvious physical disability? Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Greater participation in politics, that's coming from the women in Benue State. Please stay with us.